race. What is the future of the human race? We believe that life arose spontaneously on the Earth, so it must be possible for life to appear on other suitable planets, of which there seem to be a large number in the galaxy. But we don't know how life first appeared. We have two pieces of observational evidence on the probability of life appearing. The first is that we have fossils of algae from 3.5 billion years ago. The Earth was formed 4.6 billion years ago, and was probably too hot for about the first half-billion years. So life appeared on Earth within half a billion years of it being possible, which is short compared to the 10 billion year lifetime of the planet.
Greetings, citizens of Tetris. It is your old pal Vandweller back with more stupid Tetris Monthly. Yes, it is the no next box edition of Stupid Tetris Monthly, and this is a top 16 meeting of 4 players, only one of whom will emerge as a semi-finalist. Let us take a look at what we're actually doing here today, and we are playing the orange and yellow matches. That is Dog playing Tetris versus Hydrant Dude, 2 former or current world record holders in the no next box category. The yellow match is Myles and Bendy, who as far as I know do not have any world records in this category, but nonetheless it should still be an exciting matchup. Then the winners of each of these matches will face off to determine the first of our semi-finalists. So that is what we have going on today. And let's take a look at just upcoming streams, just so you know what we're doing. Tomorrow, we will have more Tap Masters. It's going to be the blue bracket, round 1, round 2. Chiller versus Mark, winner versus Critical Lapis. Tuesday, we will have a couple of brackets for you. One is Tap Masters, Timmy Klein versus ID Kirby, winner versus Sam the Speedrunner. And then pretty much right after that, more Stupid Tetris Monthly, early round, finally getting this one done. Teal, Cole versus Somalian, winner versus Cobra. And you see another Tap Masters bracket later in the week. But today, it's going to be the top 16, orange and yellow, Dog, Hydrant, Myles, and Bendy. Let's take a look at our rules. Well, do you want to take a look at the rules, or do you want to... Well, let's do this first, actually, just so you get a sense of no next box world record history. This is the world record progression. This is not a list of all high scores. This is the list of incremental improvements of the world record for no next box. And you'll see that Dog Playing Tetris, who is our #1 seed in this tournament, is also the current world record holder, at least as far as recorded games go. Gerald is said to have an unrecorded 611. No vid, no did, as far as I'm concerned. Dog has the recorded record. And yeah, it says world record, not world unrecord, right? So there it is. So you can decide, you know, who has the record. According to this list, though, Dog Playing Tetris, and he improved the record after basically over 4 years of this record not being improved. Did so in the run-up to this tournament. So yeah, that should be fun. You'll also see his top 16 round 3 opponent, Hydrant Dude, was also a world record holder in this category, albeit for only 1 day. So anyway, it doesn't matter. It still counts. 2 world record holders in this category facing off in the top 16. Let's take a look at our rules for this tournament. This is a 32-player single elimination flat bracket tournament based on the 1989 version of Tetris released by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System on NTSC consoles. Players can play an emulator or console so long as the game mechanics, appearance, and statistics are unmodified, except in the ways that we ask you to modify them. Players can use any controller so long as there's no big buttons or turbo functions used, whether electronical or mechanical, biological turbo only. Level 9 starts all the way through, and make sure, players, that your next piece preview, aka your next box, is off. And the best way to effectuate that state of affairs is to play a garbage game before you get going, turn it off during that game, and then do a natural regular top out. If you use the start select A, B, it might trigger the next box to turn back on for your next game. So don't use the, rage quit button combo. Just top out naturally and then hit start when the game tops out. Should bring you back to the level select menu, and then we can go from there. And remember, no same piece sets in this tournament, because it's no next box, right? So if one player were behind in pieces of the other one, they could actually create for themselves a next box, right? By looking at, the other player's screen somehow. I don't know. Some people say, oh, that's not possible. It's definitely possible. All right. Remember, players do not receive any in-game advice and do not pause unless the commentator tells you to. I am the commentator, and I am probably not going to tell you to pause. And if you do experience tech issues like an internet outage or OBS whatever, then just keep playing and wait for my instructions. I will sort it out. And yeah, so there you go. Is that it? Is that everything I need to tell you? I think so. But also, I need to tell you that the winner of this tournament does get something. And that is a share in a prize pool, which stands right now at $150. Thanks to everybody who has contributed to this prize pool so far. Our goal is $1,000 to pay our top 8. We would love to reach that goal. It's really important for us to reach our goals in these tournaments to make sure that we can continue to offer them. You know, if we keep supporting the prize pools, players will keep showing up for them. Really, no matter how stupid they are, you know, somebody will show up if we keep doing it. So if you want to make sure that these kind of stupid tournaments keep happening, use the Matcherino command while you're watching live. The Twitch, you can do it while you're on Twitch or YouTube. The 2 links should come up, one of them for STM, the other for Tap Masters. Make sure you're clicking the right one. This one should say STM, NNB, whatever. Click on that one. It'll take you to the landing page for this tournament with our prize pool partner, Matcherino. Top right-hand corner is where you log in. You can log in with your existing Twitch or YouTube account. No need to make a separate account for Matcherino. You already got one if you have a Twitch or YouTube account, which you presumably do if you are watching this. And thanks again to everybody who's contributed so far. We're probably running a little bit behind our pace for the prize pool. So if you want to make me feel good, you want to make the players feel good, maybe kick in a little bit. 1, 5, 10, 15, 20, $850, whatever you got kicking around, you know, who knows? Okay, so that is how to support the players. To support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris and make an ongoing pledge of support to make sure that this channel continues to exist so that we can continue to bring you all this exciting Tetris action all year round, right? Masters event, Das Masters, now Tap Masters, stupid Tetris Monthly. That's a lot of Tetris. We can't do it all without making sure that this channel is something that we can continue to do on a full-time basis. So if you want to make sure that this thing that you love so much, I think you do, continues, go to patreon.com/monthly Tetris, make an ongoing pledge of support, just like the people on your screen have done. And big shouts to Scott Gray, Jane the Window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troy Dan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cacket 91, Mila Tempest, and Jason. Thank you all so much for your support. There are other ways to support us too. You can go to YouTube and use super chats and stickers. You can have a channel membership over on YouTube. You can gift a channel membership on Twitch. You've got bits, you've got subscriptions. You can gift a subscription. You can use an Amazon Prime, Twitch Prime Gaming sub to get a subscription. All different ways to support the channel, and use the support command. That'll bring up even more ways to support the channel. Just had $20 kicked into the prize pool by Cute Pup Jesus. Thank you, Cute Pup Jesus. CPJ with the $20 contribution to the prize pool, getting us up to $170. Thank you all so much. All right, I'm going to flop on over to our little game scene here, see what we got, see if I need to adjust some cams. I feel like Hydrant's cam is going to be fine if he like sits up like he normally does, but I don't know, he might not. Maybe he's just in full chillax mode. I don't know. He does seem to be chillaxing right now. Oh wait, now he's up and sitting face forward and feeling good. All right, there you go. Ready, super happy. Wants to win. And you know, what the heck? I'm excited for Hydrant to be here. Dog says ready, but I don't know. Do I have Dog on cam? I don't see Dog. Dog says ready, but you are 1 minute cam is dead. Yeah, Dog cam is dead indeed. Oh, the Red Sox won. Thank God. I was refreshing the score page over and over, and they just got the word that they won today. 4-3 over the Dodgers. That is a huge win. Bullpen game, guys. Very exciting for them to win a bullpen game. All right, let's see what we got here. We're waiting for Dog's camera to come back. I think camera died, so we're going to try and make sure that is working. Let me know if I need to refresh. Is it same seed? It is not the same seed. No same seed. All right, dog is very close. So let's see. Let's get this camera going on dog's side. Camera. There we go. What is this other one that's open? So yeah, it is not same piece sets. And then just make sure you top out naturally. Otherwise, if you use the rage quit, it's going to bring that next box back. And then it becomes, we start the game 5 times, which is, you know, funny, but not the best. All right, let me just get this camera adjusted, see how much camera we actually get. Oh, look at this. We got a lot of camera from Doug this time. Oh, I'm here for it. Okay. Bueller was pitching, so you low-key penciled in a loss. No, not with this bullpen. All right, looks like both players are ready. Stupid Tetris Monthly, known Xbox, top 16. This is the orange match of the top 16 bracket, orange-yellow. Dog versus Hydrant Dude. It says round 1. It's the top 16 in 3, 2, 1, Tetris. And it didn't come through. Let me try it one more time. 3. I have a button that doesn't work all the time. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. All right, now it worked. It totally worked. All right, we are good now. and all right, it's gonna come through any minute now, and it does. Okay, good. We're playing Tetris. On the left side of your screen, it is Dog playing Tetris. Seed number 1 in this tournament, making his first appearance in this tournament in virtue of his top 8 seeding in the qualifying. He does not have to start until the top 16 or the round of 16. All the top 8s in the qualifying get an automatic entry into the round of 16. And Dog with the number 1 seed with that qualifier, 524,000 average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Dog with an overall PB of 29.4 million. Not going to get anywhere near that with no next box, even on level 9. But that is the current world record overall for score. And Dog has the overall world record for no next box. Dog on July 1st, in the run-up to this tournament, broke Jerpy's long-standing record and got a 558,000 to improve that record after 4 years. Dog is an 11-time CTM Masters event winner. Is also our reigning Mega Masters winner. He's a 2-time DAS Masters winner. And oh, by the way, did I mention he's a 2-time CTWC world champion? And that's pretty good. Was also 5th in the Jonas Cup last year. Won our Lone Star event in 2023 as well. Now, Dog did play in our original Stupid Tetris Monthly Multi-Mode Championship. That's when it was like 1 time a year back in 2020. And Dog went out against Andy in the second round. So not his first rodeo in Stupid Tetris Monthly. 63,000 here for Dog. 55,000 for the guy on the right. That is Hydrant Dude, who was the winner of that Stupid Tetris Monthly in 2020. That was a multi-mode tournament with lots of different speedrun modes, including, you know, minimum transition score and no next box, and speedrun modes and B-type modes and all other kinds of modes. So Hydrant was the first ever winner. And winners of these monthlies now here in 2025 will make it into, they'll get an automatic entry into a multi-mode championship in 2026 in the summer, assuming we last that long. So Hydrant Dude, a 2-time Masters winner. One of those was in regular Masters in September of 2021. And the other one, of course, in that Stupid Tetris Monthly. Hydrant qualified into seed number 17 with a 346 average of his best 2 games. Has a 2.36 million overall PB. and is another world record holder, formerly in this category, 414,000 back in, I think, February of 2021. He held that record for one day until Poet took it back. 98,000 for Hydrant, 83,000 for Dog. Hydrant defeated Doc Pie in round 1, and the round 2 opponent unfortunately had to withdraw, so Hydrant did get an automatic entry in virtue of that round 1 win right into the round of 16. And, you know, it's a good place for him to be anyway. Seed 17 makes sense. And, of course, former winner in this category and world record holder in this category. So I think taking his rightful place in the top 16. 124 for Hydrant, 120 for Dog. We had another contribution to the prize pool, by the way. Thank you to Mark A with the $25 contribution. That's going to get us up to 195,000. Really appreciate $195. I'm so used to saying thousand after a 3-digit number. $195. If it was 195,000, yeah, we'd run this tournament every month, of course. $195. 148 for Hydrant, 144 for Dog. Yeah, 195,000. We're going to get there one of these days. $195,000 prize pool Mega Masters in 2030. That's the goal. With inflation, we might get there. Who knows? All right, nice double here for Hydrant. Both players with good boards. 156 for Dog, 150 for Hydrant. Now, level 9, this is going to turn into level 10 at 100 lines. There will be a 20% speed increase. Right now, Tetrises are worth 12,000. And now, just to give you a sense of a perfect transition from 9 to 10 would be 300,000. So this gives you a sense of kind of the pace that they're on if this were a regular game. And I think if you're not seeing an Xbox, that's pretty good. Really anything over like 220, 225 seems to be like pretty healthy so far in this tournament at 10. Hydrant in a lot of trouble and having to make a lot of guesses up near the top of the board. And that is going to be a top out for Hydrant in game number 1. And Dog, you are good. All right, players, as soon as you're ready, signal ready. They have signaled ready, and it is game number 2, Dog and Hydrant. Dog up 1 game to none. And yeah, these players just moving very quickly. They just want to get it over with. Nobody wants to play this mode. Like the worst mode ever. All right, looks like both players pushing down. You see the score incrementing without clearing any lines. Both of them are pushing down early. Hefta says, just to show how difficult NNB is, Dog got rebirth before getting NNB world record. I don't think he was really trying for the NNB world record all that long. He probably just like say, oh, let me see how I am at no next box. Oh yeah, I just got the world record. Probably took 1 game. It's not a category that people grind. I don't even think there's like an overall complete leaderboard. We have that world record progression. Oh, Hydrant in a lot of trouble here and gets a bar and did not guess to get it over. So that's another early top out. Well, not an early. The first one wasn't early, but this is definitely early. So Dog with a chase down has to get to 13,000. And there is a triple. Again, Tetris is here worth 10,000 points. Oh, there was a contribution of a... all right, so Dog needs to get to 13,521. He's going to try to get it with push down points because why not? What a memer needs 20 points Needs 7 points. He's 1 point behind. And he got the 2 points, so he's just going to top out with a 1 point lead. What a memester. Look at this guy. 1 point. So stupid. That is so stupid. You had to play it safe. You really did have to play it safe. Look at that. Push down points mattered. So that is going to go as, does this count? I don't think this counts as a 1 point, but oh well, it kind of does. You would have laughed if he accidentally tied. Yeah, I would have too. All right, well, Dog is up fair and square, 2-0. First ever 1 point win on level 9 in STM. Yeah, huge world record. Congratulations, Dog. All right, looks like both players are ready in game number 2. Dog is up 2-0. Hydrant needs to win one to continue this match and have a chance to advance. Let us get them started here in game number 3. Now, this tournament, these monthly Stupid Tetris Monthly, the way we've conceived it, these themselves do not confer a Masters status. However, the tournament, the end of the season tournament, which will be next summer, that all these monthlies lead into, that'll be a multi-mode tournament, and that tournament will convey a Masters title. That is a long way off if we even get there. It's really going to depend on whether people turn out for these, whether the prize pools get funded, whether people watch them, whether people care. But I expect we'll do, I don't know, maybe, 9 or 10 monthlies. Obviously, monthly doesn't mean every month, but mostly monthly before we get to that annual multi-mode championship, and then all kinds of different play modes will be represented. What does the master title give you? Well, you see how Dog has that number 11 underneath his name and Hydrant has that number 2? It gives you one of those. That is considered to be a Masters level event. The only events that convey Masters titles would be, open playstyle. So people say, why doesn't DAS do it? Why doesn't the Tap Masters do it? Because those are not open playstyle tournaments. Only open playstyle tournaments would do that. And then we are just stipulating that these monthlies won't do it either. But of course, we will keep track of them. $61,000 for Hydrant. Dog, $66,000. So the winner of this will play the winner of the next match, which is Bendy versus Myles. Now, if you do kind of alternate mode Tetris, NES Tetris, you may want to check out, if Hydrant Dude gets back to, I don't know, is Hydrant Dude still doing them? For the longest time, doing something called Any Tourney, which is kind of a tournament with kind of alternate rule set and alternate open DAS settings, basically. And kind of a different one every single time. So I don't know if he's done one in a while. I don't have time to watch Twitch, man. I'm busy. I'm busy running CTM. I can't run around watching every Tetris stream that comes on. But the few that I've seen, super fun. And Hydrant Dude, really the CEO, as someone said, of Silly Tetris. Tetris for Hydrant, 110, 115 for Dog. But anyway, I think if you go on Hydrant's channel, you can find how to go watch all the previous ones. They must be there somewhere. Okay, 117 for Dog, 122 for Hydrant. And actually, I mean, Dog also has kind of an alternate mode tournament as well. You know, his Tetris organization, which occasionally runs tournaments, Classic Tetris Brawl, did do something called Winter Games, which also had kind of alternate mode Tetris events. And wasn't the winner of that Myles, who is coming up in the next game? I think that's true. I believe that that is true. 124. I'm just gonna make up facts and then just confidently state them. 124 for Dog, 136 for Hydrant. Oh, Hydrant gonna miss with that bar. Oh no, and that is gonna be a top out for Hydrant due to 136. The Chasedown target for Dog is 136 and any points at all. And there is a Tetris for 138. And Hydrant with maybe a little bit of a disappointing set here. Dog going 3 games to none. Hydrant does not get into level 10 at all in this set, and Dog is going to take a 3-0 victory in this match. So our first ever Stupid Tetris Monthly champion is out in the top 16. GG's Hydrant. You are, however, a Stupid Tetris legend. So great to have you here. Hope to see you again in subsequent months. Dog will be moving on to the next round. And let me go ahead and report this, and we will get our next match up and running. So, Hydrant, you are dismissed. You may stay and watch if you care to. Dog, please stick around so you can play the winner of the next match. Let's see. So 3-0. That was a quick one. That was a quick one. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and let's see. What do we got? Is it 8? What is it? Yeah, it's 8 and 9. All right, so we got 8 and 9. So here's 8. And here is 9. And let me give a refresh to these players. So they probably were not expecting to play this quickly, because that went pretty quick. Bendy needs 3 minutes. That's fine. Not a problem. All right, I will be back in a moment. We'll just go ahead and show you some slides, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. All right, let's check for our players here, see if they are anywhere closer to being here and available. Let's refresh. Bendy, there's Myles. I feel like that was 2 minutes or 3 minutes. All right, Myles is live. Well, that's a start anyway. Guess we can get going on his... Oh boy, let's see. That can't be his stencil. Let me reset the transform here. Yeah, he's fine. Of course, he's always on point stencil wise. Big Myles is here, everybody. Big Myles. There he is. He's big. He's Myles. He's ready to go. All right. All right. Let me fix the camera. There he is. You were just gonna play big face right there. Very big today. All right, we're gonna play normal face Myles. That is probably the way to go. All right, you're live. Bendy is now live. That's good to hear. There he is. All right. It's like Bendy's go for a job interview or something like that. He's going to a meeting. He's about to discuss requirements for a new piece of software or something like that. Yeah, it's very project, technical project manager kind of look today. All right, you're gonna face your pieces. That is the rule today. Yeah, doesn't he? He does look like a manager. He totally looks like a manager. I've had managers that look like that, man. No cap. Oh, he's trying to put his feet up on the desk. That's not a good look. Don't do that. That's not good. You think I should discuss more of the player's fashion? Well, generally speaking, I think it is wise to avoid a, discussion of players' appearance, except when they're awesome. When they look amazing, then it's cool. All right, fixed. Yeah, now you just look like, I don't know, like a hooligan of some sort. All right, longshoreman, an electrician, maybe more. I think more like an electrician now. Why does Bendy look employed? Yeah, he looks very employed right now. All right, I think we are just about ready to start. So players around. All right, Bendy, you gotta pick a look and go with it. One pair of glasses changes everything. Yeah, it's possible. I think it's just that he's got it. He's got that polo buttoned up all the way to the neck. I think that's part of it. Like who's buttoning the polo all the way up to the neck? I think that's part of it. All right. That's part. All right, there you go. Now you're a little more relaxed. All right. Now we're on a golf weekend. Looks great. Amazing. All right, looks like both players are ready. This is the top 16, Myles versus Bendy. This is our semifinal number 2. The winner of this will face Dog in the top 8. So let us get them both started. I'm sure their next boxes are hidden. Let's go. Myles versus Bendy in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And their next boxes appear to be hidden. So that's all excellent. On the left side of your screen, it is Myles, seed number 8. He qualified into that seed with a 408,000. That was the average of his best 2 games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. The top 8 in all of our 32-player tourneys nowadays get an automatic 2-round bye, and they start in the round of 16. So Myles, this is his first match of the month in this tournament. Myles has an overall PB of 8.063 million. That's good for 7th on the overall list. He is the 9th ranked player in the most recent Premier poll. That is a monthly ranking of Tetris players, and you can see the full results over at premierpoll.com, Premier with an E at the end. Myles is the 6th person to crash the game. Did that back in May of 2024. Of course, you can't look at Tetris on any social media platform without running into Myles and his massive social media footprint and empire. Myles has been in the Masters or in a Masters level finals 4 times, most recently in October of 2024. One of those times was in Lone Star of 2024. Myles is also one of the few people to have played in both of our Stupid Tetris Monthly championships, the ones that were in 2020 and 2021. Well, he was in both of them. He went to round 1 in the went to round 2 in the 2021 version of it. He's been in DAS Masters 7 times, finishing as high as a top 8, which he did in February. Also a Challenger Circuit winner, 5-time CTWC Gold Bracket winner, twice a top 8er, and that was the most recent 2 years. And he's been around all over different regionals, and he has a win in the Desert Qualifier in 2022. Also played in Stillwater, Waco, and in the Genesis regionals as well. 53,000 for Myles, 64,000 for Bendy. Bendy, seed number 9, qualified in with a 382,000 average in his qualifier. He got a round 1 bye, and then in round 2 defeated Meme to make it here to this top 16. Bendy with a I don't know what Bendy's PB. What is Bendy's PB? I don't know. Something. But what I do know is that Bendy is the 5th highest ranked DAS player in the most recent Premier poll. So number 5 on the DAS list. He's the first player ever to get a clear with DAS on level 19, height 5. He's been in Mega Masters 1 time. That was last year. He's been in DAS Masters 7 times and was in the finals back in January of 2025. Also made 2 semifinals appearances. Won the Hopeful Circuit back in September of 2023 and made his gold bracket debut in CTWC this year and was the winner of the silver bracket last year as well. 103 for Bendy, 92,000 for Myles. Arctic XC says Myles was the first Tetris player I met in real life. Yeah, I can't wait to meet Myles one of these days. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. 115 for Bendy, 93,000 for Myles. Now this is, of course, no next box. So the players' next boxes are turned off. We had contributions to the prize pool from Joe. That was $15. And then Mark contributed $4.20 because, of course. So that gets us up to $214.20. Thank you to everybody who has contributed. $96,000 for Myles, $117 for Bendy. Of course, players are allowed to use any play style in this tournament. Just the no next box has to be turned off. We start on level 9 for all of our matches in this tournament. They are best of 5. On level 9, the first transition is into level 10, and that happens at 100 lines, so we're already about 2/3 of the way toward the level 10 transition. $99,000 for Myles, $131 for Bendy. I guess we also had a raid from RXS earlier, and I missed that, so thank you, RXS. Appreciate that. Sorry I missed it. It's not possible for me to get everything, you know? All the time. I mean, maybe it's possible for someone better than me to, you know, see everything, react to everything, but this is basically, when we're streaming, it's a one-man show. That's it. Just me. Bendy with a lot of adjustments here. And you can see when that stack is high, players having to sort of gamble a bit, and they sort of pre-start the piece over to the left side just in case it's the one that they really need to get over there. But otherwise, they're going to like bend that thing back around to the right side when they need it. So they're sort of pre-loading that piece to the left. And you can see that especially happening on Bendy's side. Long bar over Tetris for both. 127 for Myles, 168 for Bendy. Yes, bend it like Bendy. All right, so Bendy just going to take a nice, easy double. Probably pretty wise given how high the stack was, especially with that like square, that 2x2 hole or gap at the top of his stack here. Not an ideal board. So when it's not ideal, you may as well just take it down if you've got the chance. And now he's starting to get a little bit spired here. Going to try to avoid spiring any higher with these S's. And spire, very tough to deal with, because you split that board into 2 sections. And then, as you see, you know, Bendy was trying to, you know, kind of pre-guess which side to put that piece over. But when you've got a spire, that becomes much more difficult because you can't move it back. You basically have to pre-commit if your spire is high enough to where you're going to put that piece. And Myles here in a dig, and this is just pure guesswork. Can he get a bar over? And the answer is going to be no. Myles is going to top out in game number 1. Bendy will take it with 176,000. Does not even have to get to level 10. All right, so Bendy going to Tetris into that level 10. You can see that 20% speed increase happening there, and he didn't need to go any further because he already took it. So players, when you are ready, you can signal ready on the level select screen. All right, now Bendy says that Myles was the first player that he also met in real life. So what the heck? I mean, Myles, when you come back, you'll have to tell us who the first Tetris player you met in real life was. All right, looks like both players are ready. Let's get them started here in game number 2. Myles and Bendy. Bendy up 1-0. STM, no next box. He's thinking about it. You can see that he's thinking about it. He's like, I'm trying to remember. Okay, of course, you'll notice that both players are starting off with different pieces. We do not use same piece sets in this tournament because with the speed here, it would sort of become theoretically possible to use the other player's board as a next box. Some people say that that is not possible. I think it is possible, and just to mitigate against any possibility of that happening, we will be using same piece sets. So RNG could be a little bit of a factor in these, but I think it's so slow. And it's best of 5. I just think it is RNG not going to be a huge factor in these. Of course, if one player gets way less bars in the or a lot fewer bars than the other, then yeah, I guess it could. But ultimately, I don't think it is RNG that it's been deciding these so far. 13,000 for Bendy. Myles looking for his first Tetris, but he's got some burning to do. Another Tetris for Bendy. Tetris is on this level worth 12,000 points. Level 9 is actually level 10, and 10 times 1,200 is 12,000. So Tetrises are always worth 1,200 times the level you're on, with the understanding that level 0 is one of the levels. 37,000 for Bendy. Let's see how he's going to handle this, because his board is a little messed up right now. He's got a lot of material on the left side, though. Oh, that bar hang is a little weird. So he's got this weird diving board. And all right, nice flat bar to burn that out. But see if he gets a double tuck. Yes, he does. There's a nice split double for Bendy. Myles is set up for a dirty Tetris, and that is his first Tetris of this game. Jay plays Tetris, says, my STM match against Rory was rigged by RNG. I mean, I hear you saying it. Why did they call level 1 level 0? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but when you start at the very lowest level, it's called level 0, and yet that is the first level of the game. And in terms of the, score multiplication and how that score is determined, it does count as level 1. Had another contribution to the prize pool to get us up to $256. That was Pseudo Canard with $41.80, says round total. Yeah, 16 times 16, right? Is that how math works? I think that's how math works. So thank you, Pseudo Canard. Appreciate that. All right, Benny is set up for a dirty Tetris. He's at 69,000. Myles at 37,000. That's 100 in hexadecimal. We'll keep it coming. Not you. I mean, you've done enough, but everybody else, let's keep it rolling. All right, Bendy's board getting a little bit high here. He's just going to take the triple, and he's rewarded with the Tetris. There's a Tetris for Myles. He had a kind of too high Tetris well, and he gets another bar for another Tetris. So 73,000 for Myles, 98,000 for Bendy. All right, Bendy trying to find like an S or a T to fit into that column 3 and 4 channel. Finally finds a T to put in there. Now he's looking for an L piece or a long bar. Gets a bar. Now with Jay would help him out a bit. Tetris for Myles, 99,000, and he's closed the gap pretty closely now. And Myles with a great looking board, and Bendy's kind of just getting like worse every time. All right, he's opened up that right side. Now, if he can get a bar over there somehow, he's trying to keep that open over there. And I think this is not going to be very easily survivable for Bendy. We'll see what he can do. And the answer is nothing. That's going to be a top out for Bendy. Myles, the target is 103. So if we can get something down that right side, a double will help. And a Tetris, and Myles, what? Myles? Can I talk? Myles is going to tie it up. A game apiece. Antoine Abraham says, can someone explain the rules of this tournament? Why level 9? Why so slow? Well, Antoine, they are playing without the benefit of the next piece preview. They cannot see the next piece, and the next piece is critical to making quick decisions in Tetris. Without it, the players are experiencing a severe disadvantage, and if you can't fully appreciate that, then I ask you to try and play NES Tetris without the next box and try to do anywhere near where you're able to do when you play it. So Myles says the first Tetris player I met was Sodium in 2021. Well, that's a good one. All right, we are tied up at a game apiece. Bendy trying to do some no next box warm up on 29. I'm sure that'll help. You're welcome, Antoine. Yeah, it is not. That next box is worth, I don't know, about 10 levels, man, or more. I mean, it's just worth a lot. Really hard. All right, let's see. They're both on Tetris. Good enough for me. Let us get both players started in game number 3. What was once a best of 5, now a best of what? 3. Caitlin B says, whoa, starting on level 9, I might actually be able to play in that format. Well, give it a shot. Give it a shot. Bendy with the cheese grip to start off with. I'm trying to think, who is the first Tetris player I met in real life? And I think it was Josh Tolles. Was it Josh Tolles? It might be Josh Tolles. That would be when I ran what was called the Southern Qualifier in Irving, Texas. That was the one that Matt Martin won to earn his way to CTWC 2019. So I think it was Josh Tolles. And one thing you got to know about Josh Tolles, I mean, there's a lot of things to know about him, but one thing you got to know is that he loves the dog bone controller. And I brought a dog bone controller with me, and he was like eyeing that thing pretty heavily. And I don't know, like I hid that dog bone. I didn't know anything about the guy, so I hid that dog bone controller the rest of the weekend because I thought it was going to grow legs. 27,000 for Myles, 25,000 for Bendy. Mr. Brain, you met Stefan Fatsis, the author of that book. Wasn't he did he write Word Freak? Who wrote Word Freak? I read that book back in the day. I don't remember if it was Stefan Fatsis, though. But that's your first Scrabble player. 30,000 for Myles, 37,000 for Bendy. All right, got it. Yeah, I read that book back in the day. All right, Bendy with a lot of material on the left side. I remember what I remember about that book, that I read that book probably in like 2023 or 2024. And I was also heavily involved with poker at the time. And inspired by that book and the poker community, I wrote a screenplay for a parody of the poker community, but it was set in the world of competitive backgammon. But it was inspired by that book and then just me being in the poker community. It was like a mockumentary of the competitive backgammon scene. 87,000 for Bendy, 55,000 for Myles. It wasn't good. I mean, my screenplay, but I just did it as an exercise. Art of the Troll says, I'll take things that never happened for 500. Oh, sorry, Art of the Troll. Things that happened. 68,000 for Myles, 89,000 for Bendy. All right, Bendy gonna miss the S spin, and it's just crazy, you know, when you see players nail them at like 29 speed and then see them miss them at level 9 speed. A lot of it is timing and sort of this muscle memory, I think, and it's a little bit challenged when they're on the lower levels and don't have quite the timing. All right, Bendy with that great flat long bar burn. He approves. 129 for Bendy, 105 for Myles. All right, Myles' board getting a little bit high, so he could really use something on that right side to bring it down a couple levels, which he does with that S piece. And another double for Myles. And the long bar gets over. Myles gets a Tetris 120. He's already set up for another one. And there's another for Myles. 132 for him through 68 lines. 153 for Bendy through 69 lines. All right, so Bendy right now ahead by about 33,000 points. That's a little less than 3 Tetrises. Same line count. Okay, so now same line count, 21,000 lead. Just about 2 Tetrises, a little bit less. Tetris for Myles, 158 for Myles. There's a long bar in for Bendy. So we are under 20 lines to go until level 10. And in this broadcast so far, we have not really had to go to level 10. Like the matches have ended. I mean, the games so far have ended fairly early. But this one might be a 10 and beyond battle. Tetris Bendy 207. So anything 200 or above is a fairly decent transition in this mode so far. All right, Bendy has some burns he can take now. Okay, he's going to take that triple. Myles is the first one into level 10 at 192. Bendy gets a Tetris 223. And right now, about a 31,000 point lead for Bendy, just about that same line count. All right, there's another Tetris Bendy into level 11. Tetris is now worth 14,400. Okay, Myles with a Tetris 220. Bendy with a Tetris 253. Bendy is 2 lines ahead. The next speed increase is going to be level 13. So level 12 will be the same speed as levels 10 and 11. Level 13, that speed is going to increase by 25%. Basically from 1 row every 5 frames to 1 row every 4 frames. Tetris for Myles, 251. And level 13 will be basically the same speed as 15. So 13, 14, and 15 are the same speed. And they are just a few lines away from that. Tetris for Bendy. He's at 277. Tetris for Myles. He's at 269. 1 line apart. Bendy is 8,000 points ahead. Level 13 has hit. Oh, Bendy going aggressive. Column 9 long bar to get set up for a Tetris. We'll see if he can survive that, because that is very high up to do that. And this is going to be a challenge for him to bring this down. Myles now into the lead at 288. And I think that over-aggression is going to cost Bendy game number 3. Probably should have just taken, I mean, who am I to say what these players should do, because they're way better than me, but, you know, maybe should have taken that long bar all the way into column 10 just to bring that stack back down. But Myles is good in game number 3, and he's going to go up 2-1. Bendy in chat says, yeah, I knew I shouldn't have. I could tell as soon as you did it. You're like, yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. Hopefully I can get bailed out. But you didn't. Okay, so as soon as players are ready for game number 4, we can get started on that. If you need to take a moment, you can. I know this is so tiring. You know, you have to use 100% of every brain cell in order to play this. I don't know if you knew that or not. All right, players have signaled ready. It is time for game number 4. Myles is on match point. Bendy looking to win this one to force a deciding game number 5. Do these games count for players' records, rankings, etc.? I mean, I'm not the person that keeps records, so I don't have any real say over that, but I don't see why they would count for anything. I mean, it's entirely different kind of game mode, and maybe if someone's keeping track of this particular kind of game mode, then maybe it would. But you know, in terms of their regular, it's like, well, your FMS is taking a huge hit. You only got to level 10 with 200,000. You know, obviously that is not going to count. But for Elo, I don't know if, you know, I don't run Elo, but if anyone's asking me, this should not count for Elo. It's entirely different than regular Tetris. Well, Bendy going to set up a little hole for a square. He gets a square in the immediate next piece. So now he's looking for a J piece or a long bar to help in column 8. And the long bar will go in. And now Bendy is set up for a Tetris, gets a long bar, and gets a Tetris. 25,000 for him, 26,000 for Myles early in game number 4. All right, so Bendy gets that long bar to column 8 to get Tetris ready, but no good place for a Z piece. So of course the game is going to give you a Z piece like immediately. Brit QK says, I hate Twitch ads. Yeah, I mean, I love Twitch ads. I love them. As somebody who's, you know, trying to do this full time, I love them. All right, Tetris 4. But I did not run an ad though. If you're wondering, I did not run an ad. 42,000 for Bendy, 40,000 for Myles. Although I have to remember to do it after this match because I keep forgetting to run ads and it's starting to affect things. S Day says, I love them because it means I'm supporting a stream I'm not sub to. Well, that is a good attitude. Appreciate that. 55,000 for Bendy, 52,000 for Myles. All right, so Bendy up fairly high here, but has a kind of double wide well over on the right side. And you can see, again, kind of pre-moving that piece over to the left side, but when it's a bar, he gets it over. $69,000 for Bendy, $88,000 for Myles. There's a Tetris Bendy. Oh, Jungle Cook seems to like... You like the Mayhem ones. That's the guy from Oz from HBO. Does Twitch give streamers a cut from Twitch premium users like YouTube does? I have no idea. You think, since this is my business, you would think I would know, but I really don't. I don't know. I know YouTube does. I don't know what Twitch does. Ava's Live says they do. So thank you, Ava's Live, for this information that I will not verify. I'll just take it at face value. All right, Myles board up pretty high, but he gets a long bar over for a Tetris 103 for him. 96,000 for Bendy. Bendy trying to keep that right side open, and it pays off. The bar comes, and he gets a long bar in for Tetris. And he knocks that stack down for Rose. Tetris Myles 119, 109 for Bendy. All right, so Bendy now set up in column 7 and gets a nice square and S's to fit his board almost exactly. And now just wants to get that bar. Takes a burn here. Long bar in Tetris for Bendy, 122. There's one for Myles, 132. Same line count, 10,000 point lead for Myles. 2/3 of the way to level 10. Mark on YouTube says, my last 15 no Xbox games or so ended the same way. I can't burn and I get droughted. Well, I think you got to give yourself burns, right? Cat Vinity says, if YouTube premium users watching streams give streamers money, should I watch these on Anime Cat, my other account, which has premium? Sure. I mean, you can, listen, whatever is the best way for you to watch it, just watch it. That's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. We need the support. We love the support, but you know, whatever you can do that makes sense for you, do that. Okay, 159 for Myles, 150 for Bendy. NNB Premier Poll when? Never. Believe me, after this month, these players aren't going to think about no Xbox again until they have to play it again. Nobody's going to sit there and grind no Xbox. Tetris for Myles, 184. Bendy with a flat board. Takes a nice double to bring this down a couple of rows. 7 lines to go until level 10 transition for Bendy. He's at 187. There's a Tetris for Myles. Got some gaps in multiple rows and columns, so he's just going to try to go to work and clear this away and take a good board into level 10 if he can. What's up, Chess? 201 entry into level 10 for Bendy. Myles 2 lines away from level 10. And he's got a little spire growing there over in columns 8 and 9, but he gets a long bar around it. And no great place for a square, so a square is exactly what he's going to get. Myles missing that T-spin, and you see players missing those spins. Here's a dirty for Myles into level 10 at 211. He's got a higher transition score than Bendy once he got into 10, but a much worse board. So 25 lines for Myles until the next speed increase. He's going to want to bring that down. Bendy now into level 11 with a lead of about 6,000 points. Tetris Bendy 233. Let's see what Myles is going to do here. I think he's waiting for a square for that left side, but that's not going to come. So, oh, he's going to maybe set up for a Tetris here. And now he's like kind of needs 2 long bars to get out of this. And there's one for the triple. Bendy's board getting up a little high. Myles with a skim here, but Bendy gonna uncover. He's got an open well in column 10. Oh, nice Z piece for Myles. And he is set up for a Tetris again and getting droughted. And Tetris for Myles and a fairly clean low board. 267 for Bendy, and he intentionally makes that diving board with the long bar. It was interesting. 270 for him. Myles now clean. Bendy into level 13. This is 15 speed. And Myles trying to hold out for Tetris. Going to do that S flat. That's going to get him Tetris ready, and a long bar for Myles. 257. Oh, Bendy with that extra effort to get that long bar to the right. He gets a Tetris. 288. Bendy now into level 14. 8 lines away from 15. Myles with a clean board. And a Tetris for Myles. 274. Myles trying to get set up again. And he is set up again. He gets a long bar down for a Tetris. 292 for him. 294 for Bendy. And there's a dirty for Bendy. He's at 313. He's on level 15. 8 lines to go until level 16 for Bendy. And that will be level 18 speed when he gets there. He is working 1 row off the bottom and trying to build up for a Tetris. He is built up for a dirty Tetris. He gets a long bar over Tetris for Bendy. 333 for him. 311 for Myles. Myles still 12 lines to go. He's 10 lines back. And he's looking for a bar right now. He's going to take some burns here. Nice flat long bar burn to open up that right side. Bendy 1 line to go, and now Bendy is into level 16. Tetris for Myles, 333. He's 3,000 points behind. Bendy is set up for a Tetris center well and gets it on 16. He's at 357. Myles at 333 gets a long bar over for the Tetris, 352. He's 6,000 points behind. 10 lines back. 1 line to go until level 18. Long bar over Tetris. Myles, 372. Bendy on level 17. Now level 19 is going to hit at 190 lines, and it is almost certainly going to be unplayable for these two players. Myles with a 12,000 point lead. Tetris is here worth 22,000 or 21,600, I guess, something like that, or 20,000. Oh no, Bendy on that right side. This is going to be total guesswork for Bendy. Oh no, and that is going to be a top out for Bendy at 363, and Myles is good in game number 4. Myles will be advancing to the top 8. A great match between these two. Myles with a 402. Mulling it out. Why not? Just mulling it out. Myles' qualifier was a 441, was his highest score. 441 with a 375 for a 408 average. Bendy, GG's to you. You did great. I mean, what can Myles do? What can you even do with pieces going even at 18 speed? Can he get, oh, and he gets that over to the left side. You gonna set up for another one? Can he possibly set up for one final one? What can he even do on 19? He's into 19 now, no next box. So this is basically the no next box kill screen. We'll see what he can do. Can he eke out anything else? And I don't think so. Oh, Myles going to top out at 415 with a great game. Myles, you will be moving on to top 8. Bendy says you beat my PB. What can you do? Well, yeah, that's the worst. When your opponent beats your PB, you're like, oh man, I had no chance. Brex 555 says these guys suck. Why are you starting on 9? I think you can see why. Don't you know about Blue Scotto who crashed the game? Oh, I've heard he's so much better. Yeah, he really is. All right, we're going to move Myles around. So goodbye, number 9. Hello, number 8. These guys aren't even playing 19, says Brex. Yeah, you're right. These guys are terrible. Blue Scotto. Blue Scotto. That's pretty good. All right, copy the transform. And we're gonna paste a little transform over here. Paste the transform. We'll move him over here. The match we all wanted, Myles versus Myles. Yeah, this is the best match. Myles 3, Myles 1. Yeah, RXS, that's not something I would do. I want to celebrate people playing at whatever level they can play, not to use them as a prank for other people. Don't forget the ad. You're totally right. Thank you, Julia. Julia knows where it's at. Thank you, Julia. All right, let's get Dog back into place. Seed 1. I did the ad. Thank you very much. All right, I'll be back in about 90 seconds, and then we will get this whole thing started. So 90 seconds, 2 minutes, something like that. BRB. Dennis Maximus, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Appreciate that. Okay, our first top 8 match of the month for Stupid Tetris Monthly about to take place. It is out of the orange bracket, right? So once orange and yellow coalesce, it becomes the orange bracket again, just really because of the the technology. I have no way to make the yellow bracket persist to top 8. I have no idea why, but it's okay. Anyway, it's going to be Dog versus Myles in this one. Of course, Dog, our current world record holder in this category, set the record in July of this month, where it had sat unimproved for 4 years. It was Jerpy who had the record, but now it is Dog. All right. Well, we've got players here. Refresh them. Start to get them ready. It says top 16. Let's make it say the top 8. The winner of this match does move on to the semifinals, and players, hopefully your next boxes are turned off. I think Dog had a nap or something. Rip Geo on the DM list. You have to win twice to get on the all-time list. All right, both players are on Tetris. That is good. All right, looks like both players are ready. Stupid Tetris Monthly, no next box. Top 8, Dog versus Myles. The winner goes to the semifinals. Let us get them started in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. We'll check to make sure that their next boxes are turned off, that they start on level 9. And their next boxes are turned off and they start on level 9. What else can you ask for? On the left side of your screen, it is Dog playing Tetris, 11-time CTM champion. Defeated Hydrant dude in round 1. Is a 2-time CTWC champion, qualified in with a 524,000. That was the average of his best 2 no next box games played in a 1-hour qualifying period. Dog with the current overall score world record, 29.4 million. Was the 4th ranked player in the most recent Premier poll. You can see the full rankings over at premierpoll.com. Premier with an E at the end. And Dog is the current no next box score world record holder at 558,000. There is apparently an unrecorded game by Gerald which did breach 600,000, but no proof. So you got to bring the proof. Dog was the 8th player to crash the game and the first player ever to roll over the level counter in the gym version of the game. That is a gym rebirth. Dog also the first player with a recorded tap, 1.4 million. As I said, 11-time CTM Masters event winner, including a win in Lone Star and in this year's Mega Masters. 2-time CTWC champ and 2 times DAS Masters champ as well. On the right side of the screen, it is Myles. He qualified in with a 408,000, defeated Bendy in round 3 to make it here to round 4. This is the top 8 round. He has an overall PB of 8.06 million. That's good for about 7th on the PB list. He's the 9th ranked player in the Premier poll. Was the 6th game crasher. That was back in May. He's been in CTM, the finals of CTM majors 4 times, 3 times in the monthlies, 1 time in Lone Star. Myles also one of the few players to have played in both of our Stupid Tetris Monthly championship tournaments back in 2020 and 2021. He played in Das Masters 7 times. He's also won a Challenger Circuit back in January of 2023. 5-time CTWC Gold Bracket player. Finished in the top 8 in back-to-back years, this year and last year. And he's made the rounds of various qualifiers, including wins at the Desert Qualifier in Arizona in 2022. 78,000 for Myles, 110 for Dog. This is a no next box tournament. The players cannot see the next piece. And therefore, we start on a lower level. Level 9. Tetris for Dog, 123. Tetrises on level 9 are worth 12,000 points. The speed transition, the first one hits at level 10. That's 100 lines in. 91,000, now 103 for Myles after a Tetris, 123 for Dog. All right, everybody, we can breathe a sigh of relief. Chen is here. Welcome, Chen. Silver, the shiny Eevee is here. Joe R75 is here. Nerd the Box, Up Chess. K9 watching Tetris gigantified an emote 5 minutes ago for 60 bits. Thank you, K9 watching Tetris. Whoops is here. Jay plays Cole. Bennis Maximus RXS Madelsberger. D Jungle Raffle is here. AO Pidgeotto, Maitre Witien. Bent Squirrely. All the stars are here. Not Sam the Speedrunner is here as well. All right, Myles' board getting a little bit high centered here. Gets a nice double to knock it down a bit. It's going to take a flat burn with that T-piece just to keep this board low. Oh, and that J-hang is going to be very tough to navigate, but Myles guessed on a long bar and got it over. No idea the long bar was coming, but just rolled that next piece over, and it was a long bar, and that is fortuitous for Myles. And now he's actually set up here for a dirty triple. He's not even going to wait around. He's just going to take this stack down and start attacking that gap immediately. 162 for Dog, 135 for Myles, and Myles somehow survives that scare. And if you don't think that was a scare, well, you can ask Myles later. That was pretty scary. 137 for him. Dog takes a double to knock this down. 176 for him. But that is a total guess. When Myles was getting that long bar over, it's not like he saw it like first frame, like coming out and says, oh, I've got to get that long bar over. He was totally guessing, because that, you know, that board just bifurcated like that. You just have to pre-commit to where you're going to put a piece and then worry about where it's going to go and what piece it is later. That was the position he was in. And just so happened for him that it was a long bar and he was able to use it. Dog set up on the left well, 179. How am I so certain he didn't see that bar first frame? It just doesn't work like that. You got to start moving that thing before you even know what it is. It doesn't register like that. 192 for Dog, 173 for Myles. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, you can ask Myles later, but for the most part, you see players moving pieces aggressively left or right on the, like, basically the first couple of frames. It's a total guess. They are gambling. $185 for Myles, $195 for Dog. Myles with a clean board. Places to put most pieces here. Long bar over. Tetris Myles, 197. Dog is the first one into level 10. He's at 200,000. Myles is 4 lines away. That speed is increased by 20%. Or it's, 20% faster? However you put it. It's faster. 224 for Myles, 204 for Dog. There's the Tetris Dog, 233. Myles now into level 10, 224. The value of line clears is now going to go up every 10 lines. Level 11, Tetrises are worth 14,400. So Myles into level 11. They're separated by 5,000 points. Myles a little bit ahead, a little bit behind in bars, though. All right, Dog with a nice double. That's going to open up that right side again, allow him to start building up for Tetrises. Myles with like 5 rows of garbage on top of the Tetris well. And puts another 3 rows on top of that. He's trying to clear this away. 256 for Myles, 252 for Dog. And the delayed burn setup for Myles works perfectly. And Myles now set up for a Tetris. Waiting on the bar. Oh, Dog with kind of an early flick of that Z piece. But a bar comes, and that's going to help bail him out and just lower that stack a bit. You love the points, but you also love the lower stack. Dog now into level 13. The speed is increased again. This is the same speed as level 15. The next speed increase is at 160 lines. That'll be level 16. That's the same speed as level 18. Myles going to bring this board down with a couple of burns. Long bar Tetris for Myles, 294. And a relatively clean board. Sage with the tier 1 sub, 32 months. Thank you, Sage. Tetris for Myles, 311. Myles back by 5 lines, ahead by 33,000 points. Another Tetris for Myles, level 14. Remember, 160 lines is where the next level increase will hit, or the speed increase. And a Tetris for Myles. He's got a hole in the middle of the board, though. That's going to slow him down. We'll see what he's going to do. Is he going to try to, work this into an... Oh, he's going to work 1 row off the bottom, potentially. Now he's going to cut this down and just take a good board into 16. Or try to. 305 for Dog now. He's got a clean board. Myles, 352. Dog now set up for a Tetris. Myles waiting on the bar. How much longer can he wait? He's going to overshift that L piece, and now he's just kind of all in on the bar, and the bar gets over. Tetris for Myles. Finds a skim there. There's a Tetris for Dog, 347. Myles at 372. Dog is into level 16 with a clean board. Myles is in with a lead, but a dirty high board. So we'll see what Myles can even do. Try to kind of get some points. He nails that T-spin. How do you even see that? Oh, Myles, that right side. This is going to be really tough. He's just going to try to squeeze out any points he can. Dog is actually set up for a Tetris. He's at 350. He's back by 27,000 points. There's a Tetris for Dog. But Myles now is in... Yeah, Myles tops out at 378. The target for Dog is 379. He gets a long bar over, and there is a Tetris for Dog. Dog is going to take game number 1. People want to see Dog mulling this out. I mean, 398 is not even close to his PB, but he can do what he wants. 423 for Dog. Can you even play on 19? Yeah, try to play on 19. Just to show people what the best players in the world can even do in this level, which is not a lot. But, if anybody can do it, Dog can. Oh my God. What the heck? What the heck? He is clearing ice. He's on level 20. Oh my God. Check him console and game. There's a triple for Dog for 441. What the heck? This doesn't even make any sense. This makes no sense. Oh, and he gets to level 21. What the heck? Level 21. Are you serious? Has anyone gotten level 21 in this tournament so far? I don't think so. So Dog with a resounding victory in game number 1. Goes up 1 game to none. 444. K9 says, Vandy, isn't this stupid Tetris? Hello Jasmine says, kinda insane. Steel wants to drug test this guy. Okay, looks like both players are ready, so let's get them started in game number 2. Dog up 1 game to none. Let's get game 2 underway. K9 says we should be using hearts to keep score because it's stupid Tetris. Yeah. I'm not... I don't know. It's beneath the dignity of what we are doing now. Marvino with the tier 1 sub. Thank you very much. Marvino says, amazing what is possible for these guys. Hearts are stupid. This is stupid Tetris Monthly, but, you know, we still have some dignity to maintain here, K9. I was going to make, you know, kind of stupid graphics and things like that, but I got to be honest, I really want to play down. We're going to stay, you know, we're going to stick with the brand because it's our known brand, but I kind of want to play that aspect of it down because it's not stupid. I mean, this is hard to do. This is a real test of skill. Well, the long bar to the left might not be a real test of skill. We'll see Myles what he can do to try to get out of this here. A bar will help him out a lot. He gets one over, but now he's got that weird kind of staircase diving board. Oh, we throw the stupid bear in there a couple times, but $36,000 for Dog, $8,000 for Myles. So Myles looking for Tetris number 1 still. He's got to bring this board down quite a ways before he can start doing that. All right, good little double there for Myles. That Z piece, I think he was trying to get that over a bit further than he did, but it hung up. Okay, nice L piece for the left side. That long bar to the right is going to help. So yeah, Myles still in recovery. He still has yet to Tetris in this game. You can see Dog building out his left side pretty high. And a Tetris for Dog. So he's trying to have a neat, orderly left side while he still has like tons of options. And that's going to basically, you know, turn this 10 wide board into an 8 wide board if he can keep doing that. Myles is set up, well, was set up for a dirty Tetris. That's a nice Z piece. And we'll see how long he decides to try to hold out for the bar here. We do not want to overcommit. And that is a bail bar if I've ever seen one. So Myles going to get that dirty Tetris. And another Tetris for Myles, 41,000. Black Ops says, I think someone will eventually get to kill screen with Gnome and Xbox. Yeah, I think that's possible. I mean, you already saw Dog get to 21. And so if someone could just do more of that, but it would really just be singling, you know, the whole way. No max out on the horizon, Jungle Cook. I'm not gonna ever rule it out, but that is not what they would call in the adjacent possible, right? with someone getting to level 21, and you know, you can sort of see how the next thing would be. All right, we'll just keep doing more of that. Just like when Joseph got to like level 32 and all that. You say, okay, well, now it looks like people are going to be able to play on kill screen, right? Until and unless someone can just start setting up for Tetrises, like 1 or 2 or 3 of them with no next box on 19, it doesn't make sense to even think about it. Tetris for Myles, 91,000. He's back by 60,000. Tetris Dog, 163. Tetris Dog, 176. 91,000 for Myles. Canine watching Tetris is going to double the prize pool. He gets us up from 256. He puts in his own 256, and we are now up to 512. So thank you, Canine watching Tetris. Very, very generous for you to contribute to this stupid, stupid prize pool. Really, really appreciate that. Very, very kind. 177 for Dog, 106 for Myles. Tetris, Myles, 118. Canine loves round totals as well. All right, so we just got to get to, 1024, and we're fine. We're all good. 181 for Dog, 120 for Myles. There is a Tetris Myles, 132. Yeah, thanks again, K9. Really, really appreciate that. Dog still up about 60,000 points, same line count. All right, Myles setting up that long bar in column 9, which is defensible on level 9. That is kind of what did Bendy in on level 13 in his match against Myles. Jungle Cook became a fan level member over on YouTube. Thank you, Jungle Cook. Appreciate that. Long bar over Tetris Myles, 147. So still about this 60,000 point difference when the lines are tied. So it's really that rough start for Myles that is the difference in this one so far. One line away, both players are from that level 10 speed increase. And Dog will transition in at 220. That's a very healthy transition in this mode at this level. You know, it's 100 lines from 9 to 10. If they were all Tetrises, it would be, what, 300,000 points, basically. So the left side for Myles, a little bit of a mess, and he's also going to miss a Z-spin down the right side. And that's the other thing you do see on these levels in this mode a bit, is a lot of missed spins where you think, man, these guys can hit these spins on level 29. How would they ever miss them on level 10? Well, it's definitely a timing thing. It's also just a lot, you know, you actually have to like lock into what that next piece is as soon as it enters, and a little bit different order of mental operations for these players right here, which I think is leading to some missed spins. 178 here for Myles, 242 for Dog. Myles is set up for a dirty triple. He's keeping it open as though it's a Tetris as well, but it is only a triple. And he passed on a triple to keep it open, so that was kind of weird there. 183 for Myles, 258 for Dog. And Myles here maybe kind of setting up for, he's setting up for a dirty Tetris, so he's gambling a little bit. And he's going to get a long bar down and get a Tetris, 199 for him. Still about that 60-something thousand point lead, though. Dog with 3 rows of garbage over the well. Down to 1 row of garbage. Down to no rows of garbage. And so, of course, the long bar comes immediately. 281 for him. He's into level 13. That is another speed increase. The next speed increase will be at 160 lines. So 2 lines apart. Dog ahead 94,000 points. Tetris is here worth what? 160? Is it 168? I think it's 168,000 on level 13. $317 for Dog here on 14. Myles 239, back by 80,000 points. There's one for Dog, 337. There's one for Myles, 257. All right, see you, Chess. Okay, Myles. Oh, there's a great J piece. Get that well open. Gets a long bar in 298. 360 for Dog. We are 2 lines away on both sides. That level 16 speed increase. Dog is in at 362. There's a Tetris 382 from him. Long bar Tetris Myles. He's in at 319. The next speed increase is at 190 lines. That's going to be level 19. Tetris for Dog, 402. Myles gets a dirty or off-center well Tetris for Myles. His board, this is going to be tough, but he gets a long bar over. That's going to help him build out that right side a little bit for Myles. 346 for him, 405 for Dog. There's a double for Dog. Dog's going to open up that column 3, and he could potentially, yeah, he's set up for a Tetris now. If he can get a bar, he takes a burn. And Dog gets a Tetris in at 433 on level 18. Myles with a super messy board now, heading into level 18. 10 lines to go for Myles until 19, and I don't know what he's going to be able to do to try to chase this down. This board too high. That is going to be a top out for Myles at 352. Dog on level 18 and about to play into level 19 again with a 400 something K. Oh, and Dog cannot get the bar over. And yeah, how do you guess a bar over to that right side? I don't know. And you can see Dog, chucking bars over to the left and finally guesses on a bar and gets it right. And yeah, you can see, you have to guess. You're not going to see that bar over and then just, go 30 hertz and get it. That is too hard to do. So another super top score for Dog, 451. Gets into level 19. Dog goes up 2 games to none. Bro had 6 chances and took 1, says Pixel Andy. I mean, that's hard to do. That is hard to do. You've got to basically guess. What's the no next box world record? Says random with Titan. And the no next box world record is held by one of the players on your screen. Dog playing Tetris. He set the record in July 1st or on July 1st of this year. The run up to this tournament. This is the world record progression, not the list of all all high scores ever. So obviously there would be a lot of 400s on a list like that, but that's not being tracked. So okay. As soon as both players are ready, we can get them started in game 3. Dog is up 2 games to none. And they are both ready. So let us get them started. Dog up 2 games to none. Myles needs to win to extend the match and have a shot at the semifinals. Hemi says, no next max out before GTA 6? I don't think so. Okay, we are underway back to level 9. It's got to feel, I don't know, does it feel relaxing to get back to level 9? I don't think, even with even level 9, no next box is not relaxing. All right, Myles going to scoop in a little S-spin there. Myles could really use a bar just to clean everything up here a bit. Oh, he's going to try to set up for one. This guy is crazy. He is actually set up for a Tetris and gets it. What the heck? Bendy in chat says, if you put $1 million bounty on no next box max, the most people could get is 700,000. That very well might be true. If that. Even if you start to line out at 19. Well, yeah, I mean, if somebody could, you know, if someone could demonstrate that they can line out infinitely no next box on 19, then, you know, then you can start to have that conversation. No one has even come really close to that. We just got dog into level 21. And that was like, oh my God moment. You know, if you can demonstrate that someone can do that, then obviously if you don't put a line cap on it, then maybe someone could. All right, Myles having a little fun with no next box. Actually set up for a line spin here. Gonna chuck a T in there and take the spin. Tetris for dog, 54,000. I mean, remember the default mode of this game is not to have the line cap, so if someone's going to do it, they're going to just have to do it by endlessly lining out at, well, I don't know how they, I guess they would just do 19 to not, they can't even endlessly line out because they would hit the level 29. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I just don't think so. I just don't think that's possible. How much is line out from 19 to 28? Yeah, it's not a lot. Someone could potentially RNG manipulate it. If someone did an RNG manip run, that would be possible. So, like Siler saying in chat, that's possible. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to talk about that right now. I just want to see someone, you know, line out to 29. Let's see that. Like, see that first. And then talk about after that. 93,000 for dog, 54,000 for Myles. Like, you know, this is like talking about Rebirth in 2017. Right? It's not even on the radar. Like, there's like, you know, 20 things you'd have to prove before you could even start to talk meaningfully about that. Myles, 71,106 for dog. Tetris for dog. Dogs lead right now about 47,000, which is about 4 Tetrises. 155 from Dog, 87,000 for Myles. It's just too early to talk about things like that. And the fact is, no one's gonna grind that. I don't think. There's only a couple people crazy enough to grind it. I mean, if Fractal started grinding it, then Scooty would get it. That's probably what would happen. 100,000 for Myles, 156 for Dog. And Dog not going to go for the line spin. Okay, 160 for Dog, 128 for Myles. I didn't say it was impossible. I just said it's meaningless to talk about it until like a bunch of other things happen. I didn't say it's impossible. SSJ says, I've never seen Tetris move this slow. Well, I assure you that's not how the players are experiencing it. With no next box, it is quite the challenge. So Myles is the first one into level 10. He's got another Tetris here. He's at 156. Dog is 2 lines away from that level 10 transition. And Dog's starting to kind of spire a little bit, but gets a nice long bar to get into level 10 at 203. Jungle Cook says, I think someone would need to have never used the next box. So you think the limit, the reason people can't max out is because they've become next box dependent? No. No way. Hard disagree on that one. Like, you think if someone just started playing NES Tetris without the next box and didn't know any better, that they would just get all the same achievements that everybody else would? Not a chance. Not a chance. 206 for Myles, 234 for Dog. Okay, Myles up pretty high here. Just trying to find some way to bring this down a bit. That L to the left is good. Now he's on level 13, so it's going to get a little bit harder to accomplish. Oh, he gets that J to the left. And this is going to be tough. 282 here for Dog on 13. 212 for Myles. Myles trying to find something. Gets a long bar over to the right side. T goes to the left, trying to build out. Oh, and he's set up for a Tetris. Not sure if intentional, but he's trying to get something going here. And maybe just gambling a little bit, Myles, but my word, that was feisty. We'll see if he's going to survive this. And I don't think he is going to survive this. We'll see what he can get. No, he knows he's not going to survive. And Dog is good. 3 games to none against Myles. So Myles is into the top 8. Dog, if you want to mullen it out, you can, or if you want to avoid playing this mode as much as possible, nobody at all would blame you. So Dog will be moving on to the semifinals. We'll see what he does with this game here. 328 through 15, though. Pretty good. And GG's to you, Myles. You played great. What was qualifying score of the second seed? The qualifying score of the second seed was 484. That was Pixel Andy. He had a 503 and a 464 to average out to 484. All right, Tetris there for Dog 389, level 16, trying for another 400K. Okay, 398. He's got the 400K. All right, Dog trying to uncover the well. Man, it keeps having to cover it here. Okay. All right, nice. He's uncovered. He's got a skim there. Gets a long bar over. 428 for Dog. Wow. He's set up again. Okay, he's into 19, 436 after a triple. I mean, this is so hard. All right, looks like Dog in top out mode here. And he's going to get a 440. So, Dog, you are the bracket winner. You will be moving on to the semifinals. So, congratulations to you. You are a winner of another form of, you just win at every possible variant of Tetris we could get you. So, congratulations to you, Dog. We will see you in the semifinals. Okay, let us show you the bracket. Dog is in. He's the first one in. I'll show you the top 8 so we can just show you the 2 matches there. Dog beat Myles. We'll show you the top 16 so we can show you what is still left to do. Yeah, so we still need round ones, or people in from purple to teal. Those are still the 2 spots we need to fill out. Those are on the schedule. So those are going to happen. So let us find, where is our schedule? Here it is. So actually teal is on the schedule. I don't think the other one is. Purple has been kind of tough to schedule for some reason. Let's see why. Stupid purple. Yeah, it's just been kind of tough to schedule, so we'll try to get that up as soon as possible. But teal is on the docket for July 29th, 5 p.m. Texas time, 22 UTC. Our next stream, we're going to have 2 Tap Masters stream. One of them is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central time, 2200 UTC. That's going to be Chiller versus Mark. Critical Lapis will be in there as well. Tuesday, we got 2 streams. 1 Tap, 1 Stupid. That green one's going to be Klein versus ID Kirby and Sam, the Speed Runner. Take on the winner of that. We get that teal STM bracket on Tuesday, and then all the way Friday, that is going to be another round 1 for Tap Masters. Why is there something on here that has 2022 in the title? Because it's happening in 2025. What the heck? So anyway, really fun stream. Yeah, let's just get a look at the overall situation. There you go. So you can look at it, regard it. There is your overall tournament. I don't know why it says top 32. It should just say nothing because it's the whole tournament. So it's kind of a dumb thing to put there, Vandy. Okay. Let us thank people who need to be thanked. First off, people who contributed to the stream should be thanked. And let's show those people. And there they are. Wowies. Okay, new subs on Twitch, Bennis, Sage, and Marvino. YouTube membership, Jungle Cook, Twitch raid, RXS. Thank you for all your support of the channel. Prize pool. Yeah, we've made some progress. We're up to $512 thanks to K9 watching Tetris coming in hot with that 256. Pseudo Kennard stoking the flames with a 4180 mark with the 420. Thank you. Joe R75 15 and Mark A with the 25. Q-Pup Jesus with the 20 as well. So we made a lot of progress for this prize pool. Thank you to everybody who helped that. Patrons, thank you so much for your support of this channel. Patreon.com/monthlytetris is where you can go to make an ongoing pledge of support to support the channel, just like the people on this slide are doing. Big shouts to Scott Gray, Jay in the Window, K9 Tacky, Corporal Shelby, Troydan, Kim M, Rogue Potato, Cat Kit, Mila, and Jason. Appreciate you all. Again, take a look at the schedule. Tomorrow is when I will see you next. It's going to be Tap Masters Round 1. Chiller versus Mark. Winner versus Critical Apis. That is 5 p.m. dinner time in Texas, 2200 UTC. And again, thank you for hanging out, everybody. Okay, YouTube, have a great day. Jungle Cook, Tetris for Mario, Black Ops, Julia K, Cat Vinity, Titan, Josh C, Japanese name person, Tetris from Mario. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Twitch, we'll go ahead and send you somewhere. If anybody wants a raid, Fractal raid farming again. I mean, Fractal's such a raid farmer, isn't he? My word. What is Fractal? Let's take a look at what Fractal's doing. All right, Fractal's doing a thing. We'll go ahead and watch Fractal. Thanks, K9, again. Really appreciate. Very generous. Yeah, thanks, Chen. See you. Take care.